Hello, welcome back for day 3 of our Empower Your Practice Challenge. Today is all about working on poses for posture and relaxation. So we're going to combine those two things. We're going to really learn how to get long, create more space, and once we've created that space, how to really tone down and tune in to how your body is feeling. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can get notified for all of the practices in this challenge. Again, we're on day 3, so we still have most of the month. You can also grab your daily practice planner at the link below. Let's get started. We are going to go ahead and start out on our backs. If you have 2 blocks, grab those. If you have 1 block, grab that. Keep a strap handy. You may want it, you may not. We will find out when we get there. So 1 block is going to be vertical, directly behind you. This is going to go right in between your shoulder blades. The second block is going to be on medium or high height. High height is a little less intense. Medium height is a little bit more intense. Just depends on how you're feeling today. You're going to start with your feet about hip width distance apart, knees up towards the ceiling, and then lean yourself back. Slide the bottom block right underneath the base of your skull here. So this should feel comfortable. And then reach your hands down, palms up towards the ceiling. And again, just start here with your knees bent and start to tune into your breath. Notice how you're feeling, what's going on in your body. Take a deep breath in, fill up low belly, low ribs, upper ribs, all the way into the base of your throat. And then open your mouth, exhale, let something go. Another deep breath in, fill up completely. This time, hold your breath at the top. And open your mouth, exhale, let it go. 1 more round, deep inhale. And open mouth, exhale, let go. You can stay here with the knees bent or start to extend the legs out long. Just really allowing the chest to open with each inhale, creating a little bit more space. You are welcome to stay here. If this is enough of a back bend, if this is enough of a stretch, stay here. If you have further to go, you might reach back. Take 1 hand to the back of the head to hold the skull as you use the other hand to slide that second block out and relax your head down to the mat. At any point you decide that's too much, slide that other block back in or just take the second block out. Few more breaths here, allowing the space to be created across the chest. You do a lot of sitting at a desk, driving. This is an excellent pose to help and counteract the effects of those things. And your next inhale, reach your arms long overhead. Take the thumbs towards the floor. Really stretch through the fingers. Couple breaths here. And then on your exhale, nice and slow, bend your knees, roll off to your side, just enough to slide that block out from underneath you, and come back onto your back. Tuck your knees into your chest, give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Extend your left leg down on the mat, open your right knee closer towards your right shoulder, starting to get into that right hip crease, maybe moving the knee from side to side. If it feels good in the body, taking some circles in that hip. If having that left leg extended is ever too much, feel free to bend the knee. If you took circles, go the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Extend your right leg up towards the ceiling so you can either add a strap around the right foot or interlace the fingers behind the hamstring, behind the thigh. Pull the toes towards you and really press through that right heel. Again, creating length, creating space. As you do this, press that right hip away from your shoulder. So as we work into some postures, into some poses to help with your posture, one of the main things that we often find is that our low back is really tight, which causes our pelvis to tip forward, and our upper back tends to be really tight and causes our shoulders to be rounded. Our chest is tight, causes our shoulders to be rounded. We're really just working on those areas here. Gently bend that right knee. Bring the foot down to the floor. And then tuck your left knee into the chest and extend your right leg out. Open your left knee closer to your left underarm. And then just gently start to sway it from side to side here. If it feels okay in the body, start to take some hip circles in one direction. Just kind of getting the fluids moving in that hip. And take it in the opposite direction. Come back to center. Extend your right heel up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers behind the thigh. You can always add a strap instead. Even if this knee is bent, that's totally fine here. I hear often from potential students that they can't do yoga because they can't touch their toes. They're not flexible. And I love to remind people we do yoga to maintain or create flexibility and mobility. It's not required to already have it. Press the heel towards the ceiling, pull the toes back towards your nose. Take just a couple more breaths here. And on your exhale, gently release that side. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, stretch your legs out long, reach through your toes. Creating a little bit more length here. Take your feet to the bottom left corner of your mat. Cross your right ankle over your left. And then lift your upper body over to the left-hand side. Catch your right wrist as you stretch through that whole right side body. As you do this, roll your right hip back towards the ground. And gently release and switch sides. So walk your feet to your bottom right corner, cross your left ankle over your right, and then reach. Catch your right hand to your left wrist. Roll your left hip back towards the ground. And on your inhale, take it back to center. Tuck your knees into your chest and really think about tilting the pelvis back. So tuck the tailbone a little bit more. And then cross at the ankles, rock and roll, length of your spine. On the third or fourth round, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Really working into the neck here. On your inhale, open your arms wide. On your exhale, give yourself a nice big hug. So take your hands to your shoulders to start here. Really stacking through the elbows. And then drop the shoulders away from the ears as you lift the elbows. From there, tuck your chin towards your chest. So this is that area that I said we tend to round through our shoulders when we sit at a desk, sit in the car, stare at our phones. Just releasing some of those muscles here. Next, inhale, open the arms wide, lift the chin. Exhale, switch the cross. So opposite arm on top, hands on the shoulders. Lift the elbows, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Tuck your chin to your chest. A few rounds of breath. With each inhale, feeling more expansion in between the shoulder blades. Letting the neck release. Next, inhale, open the arms wide, lift the chin. Exhale, take the hands down. Extend your left arm out, bring your arm about shoulder height, and then take your right ear to your right shoulder. Flip your thumb down, palm faces away from you. Play with the angle of the chin here. Again, working into those neck muscles. You might lift the chin, looking over that right shoulder. Drop the chin. Find that sweet spot, something that feels good to you. And then press that left arm further back. With each different movement, you might get sensation in different areas, so you might need to change the angle of the chin, of the arm. Curl your hand into a fist and curl your wrist back. Turn the knuckles down toward the ground and then forward. Turn your thumb up towards the ceiling as much as you can, even getting a stretch across the front of the wrist. Slowly open the palm, lower the hand down, roll your chin to your chest, and then take it up to neutral. Switch sides. Reach that right arm out. Palm faces down to start. Take your left ear to your left shoulder and then play with the angle of that chin there. Find that sweet spot. Turn your thumb down, palm back. Notice if that changes the sensation, changes where you're feeling this. And then from there, just start to press your whole arm back. Curl your hand into a fist, curl your wrist back. Again, if that changed where you're feeling this, move the angle of the chin, of the neck, of the arm. And then turn your knuckles down towards the floor and then forward. Spinning your thumb as far towards the ceiling as you can get. Gently and slowly open the palm. Release the hand down, roll your chin to your chest, and then lift your head to neutral. Inhale, open the arms wide, draw shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Exhale, bring palms to touch, interlace the fingers, flip the palms forward as you round the back. This time on your inhale, aim the arms up towards the ceiling, maybe a slight back bend, lift your chin. Exhale, round the back, starting with the pelvis first, low back, mid back, upper back as the shoulders drop away from the ears, arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen, maybe take that back bend. Exhale as you round nice and slow as you round one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Last one. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Take it down. Release your hands down. Come back up to a neutral spine. Take your knees behind you. Big toes to touch. Knees wide. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Soften your chest. Child's pose. Or if you prefer, puppy dog, so sending your knees under your hips and walking your hands out in front of you. Soften your chest down. This is nice to open through the underarms. You can take your forehead to the mat. A few breaths here. As you soften the chest down, think about aiming your tailbone towards the ceiling. Now, if you have further to go here, you might take the gaze forward if you came to puppy dog. And then if it's okay on the neck, maybe taking the chin to the mat. This gets really stretchy really quick, so don't be afraid to opt out of that option. 2 more breaths. Inhale brings you back up. Walk your hands back, tabletop, and then tuck your toes and lift your hips. We won't be in down dog for long this evening or today, depending on when you're watching. Pedal out the feet, bend one knee and then the other. Coming back to center. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, shift yourself forward, take the knees down and lower all the way down to your belly. Bringing your forehead down to the mat, reach the hands back. Interlace the fingers, starting with your knuckles at your low back. This is a nice place that if your hands don't interlace, you can add a strap in between the palms. Draw shoulder blades together. And from here, even with the forehead down, start to lift the hands away from the low back. Take a few rounds of breath there. Again, really working shoulder blades together. On your exhale, gently release the arms back down, somewhere that's comfortable and sustainable, and just wiggle your hips from side to side. Now notice we opened class with a heart opener. Take another heart opener here, really working into the shoulders, working across the chest. One more time, either interlace your fingers or catch your strap. If you have a strap, palms are going to face up, draw shoulder blades together. This time, reach the hands back towards the heels. And on your inhale, lift your upper body, and then lift your hands off your low back. If you have a strap, that might mean you need to widen the hands. If hands are interlaced, just reach. One more breath in, lift. And exhale to lower. Release your strap. Bend your knees here, make a pillow with your forearms, and start to windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Coming back to neutral, lower the feet down. Come up onto your forearms, send your left knee out to the side, half frog. You can stay here on your forearms. If you want, you're welcome to come down to your belly, whichever variation feels better in your body. You're really aiming to have your hips neutral-ish, and your knee is going to come up in line with your hip, your ankle in line with your knee. We'll be here for one breath. And then exhale, extend that leg back. Switch sides. Take your right knee out to the side. Couple rounds of breath. Allowing the hips to be heavy to the floor. And on your exhale, extend that leg back. Now for our final rest here, you are either going to come to prone shavasana, so face down, belly down, or if you prefer, you can come all the way onto your back or legs up the wall, whichever resting pose feels best for you. If you have the time to stay, please do. Otherwise, we'll take just 3 breaths here. If you are doing this practice before bed or after a long day, legs up the wall can be really soothing to the nervous system, while taking your belly down to a prone shavasana can be really grounding. At the end of your next exhale, if you have time to stay, please do pause the video. Otherwise, make your way off to either side and slowly press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring hands to heart center. Thank you all for sharing your practice and your energy with myself and with the collective group today. I hope that you learned something about yourself on your mat that you can take off your mat into your life. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to come back tomorrow for day 4 of our challenge. And if you are practicing along with me, tag me on social media. I'm Amanda Q Yoga everywhere on the interwebs, and I would love to hear from you. Have a good one.